Hey guys, it's Navjot Singh Jadeja and welcome to today's lecture on Introduction to Pointers. Pointers are a very fundamental and important topic in programming, and in today's lecture we'll try to make it simpler and easy to use for all the students. In order to use the pointers, it is very important that you understand how the memory organization happens. So background of the memory organization is all the memory is divided into certain size blocks, and each of the block has numbers associated with each of the block, which is known as the address of that particular location. Now let us understand how we define a variable. So when we are defining a variable, we are declaring the variable with some value or either the data type and a name. So what is the background process happening in here? So we have a memory block wherein this particular address, which is 2000, we have a name assigned which is count, and whatever the value we are assigning in here will be stored in that particular location. So this is how the variable definition happens in the memory, and the representation of the variable and the background is that we have a name of a variable, we have a value of a variable, and we have the address of the variable. So this particular address is the one which help us identify where this particular variable is stored. Now we have also seen address of operator, which is ampersand. So this is the address of operator, and how does this work? What is the background process? So we have seen that there is a variable named count which is on the 2000 location, and we have value of 10 assigned in here, and ampersand count will actually give you 2000. So you already used it in the scanner. A lot of students would have been practicing that but did not know that ampersand count actually calls for that location, and whatever the value is there, it will print up. The value which is of ampersand count is unsigned integer. So this is known as address of operator. Now the question arises, how do we print the variable information? So let's try a simple program. There is a void main, there is the int count, and we have assigned the value 10. Now we are printing the three statements here, as you can see. So there is the first one which is name, there is the count we are printing, then we are printing the value which is percentage %d. So we are actually printing the value of count, and then we are calling the unsigned integer value in here which is ampersand count. So can you actually pause the video and tell the answer, or maybe write it down in a piece of paper, what would be the output of this program? The output of this program is where we will have name count, we will have the value which is 10, and the third line will print the address of that particular variable which is count. As you can see, this is the address of the variable in my memory location. So if you are writing this program, it might happen that you might get a different value because that depends on the memory addressing scheme of each of the hard drives. Alright. So now let us understand what is pointer variable. But before that, how do we actually write the pointer variable? So ampersand count gives us the 2000 value which is unsigned integer. So method 1 is we can actually write unsigned int x where the value will be stored from the unsigned int ampersand count. But I don't think that is a useful method. So we'll see in the further part how do we actually use the pointer variable. But before that, let us understand what is a pointer variable. So basically a pointer variable is a variable that stores the memory location of another variable. So basically it stores the address of that memory where a variable is stored. Okay, and how do we use it? Let us see that also. So we have a normal variable declaration like this. So we have a data type of that particular variable and the name of the variable. But in the pointer variable, it is little similar to that, but somewhere different. We have a data type, and then we have star, and then the variable name. So let us see an example. It is integer star p. We'll see how do we actually put up the value in here. Also we'll see how to use the pointer variables, but this is how a pointer variable is declared. Alright, so let us see. We have int count which is having the value 15, then the count will be assigned some address where the value 15 is stored. We are declaring integer star p, which is again having some other location, and then we are assigning the value of end count to p. So what is that? So that means the value of the address of count will be stored in p, which is 2000, as you can see highlighted on the screen, and it will be reflected here. So when we are declaring a pointer variable, we have to make sure we write integer star and then the name of that variable. And then when we are assigning the value of the variable will be assigned using the AND operator or address of operator. And this is how it will be referring it. Alright. Remember to have both as in the integer, otherwise it may lead into errors. So can we actually write like this? Float f is equal to 12.34 and integer star pf is equal to ampersand f. Answer is strict no, because there is a difference in here and we will be seeing that in the further lectures, but this is incorrect statement. Alright. So how do we go further with the pointer variable? We have integer count is equal to 15 star p, p is equal to ampersand count. So this is the background process. P stores the address of count, and when we write printf percentage d and count, it will print value which is 15. When I say printf percentage d p, what would it print? Can you write in the comment section, or can you actually pause the video and predict? Alright, it will be 2000, because right now we are not printing the address of p or any other value. We are printing p's value, and p's value, as I discussed earlier, is 2000. Alright, so this is why it is known as indirectional operator, because we have this value which is getting pointed, or it is also known as dereferencing operators. So if you are there in the exam, if you're watching this video to prepare for the exam, this kind of questions can be asked. Explain indirection operator or explain dereferencing operators. And also you might actually come across in interviews. If you're watching this for preparation of interviews, people might ask you what is indirection operator in C. So this is what you're supposed to explain. Now let us see that particular answer furthermore. So we have printf percentage d star p is nothing but the value at whatever the count is, so that is 15. And let us see a complete program for you to understand. So we have integer count 20, we have integer star p where assigned value is ampersand count, and we are printing 5 different things in here. So we have percentage d count, percentage u ampersand count, percentage u p, percentage u ampersand p, percentage d, and star p. Can you just pause the video again and predict what would be the outputs here? So the first output would be the value of the count, which is 20. So we will get answer as in 20. Then we move further in the pointer of the program. So ampersand count in the u, so what would be that? That is the address of that particular variable count, that is 3500 stored at p. Now we are printing p, again it would be the same way, percentage u and then p. Fourth one, which is percentage u and address of p. So address of p is 4000, so it will print 4000, and star p value is nothing but the value of the count, so it will print 20. So this is the way pointer expressions work. Also you can use the pointer expressions like this, that we have the float x is equal to 12.5, y is equal to 10.5, and we can have pointer to each of the values. Alright, and the values will be assigned like this. So px is equal to ampersand x, so it will print up the value which is the address of x, and similarly py is equal to address of y. And the same way you can store that value and you can also use the addition in here. So can anybody tell me, pausing the video now again, what would be the answer of Z? Yes, you're right. So star px is nothing but again the values x and y. This is known as indirect reference to the variable, or as we saw, the different ways of accessing. So these are the pointers, and this is when we print it. It will sum up the total as I showed or discussed earlier. So that is it for the pointers, guys. I think with this simple video you will understand pointers much better than before. And if you have any suggestions and comments, please write below, and please like and subscribe the channel, like the video if you like our efforts to make the pointers topic very simple and easy. Thank you so much.